Welcome back to another video, guys. I think we have a Christmas tree. Now, if there's any reason why convertibles were invented, it's definitely so that you could fit your oversized tree in your two-door car. Alrighty, guys, so from the looks of it, looks like let me get on this side. It looks like we got ourselves a good one. I have it leaned up against our computer desk at the moment. The camera's actually sitting exactly where we're gonna position it. Let me go ahead and grab the boxes and whatnot. We'll get started decorating. All right, so in this box we have all the necessary essentials. We got the tree stand, skirt, some stockings, and then a bunch of decorations and lights. I'm gonna go ahead and get the tree set up where it's going to be, add some water to the tree stand, and then we'll take from there. Now, I just wanna go over a quick tips and trick list that I put together for you guys before and while purchasing your tree, and also before starting your decorations. So we'll start off with number one. So number one is check the ratings of the location where you're going. Simple and plain, if the place has bad ratings, just like anything else, like if you're on Amazon, that may not be the place where you want to shop. Secondly, inspect your tree before you purchase. Not all places are gonna have ratings, so it's not gonna be that easy. Some of these places are just little pop-up locations that purchase trees from a farm in bulk, and then they set up in a convenient place by your house, which I completely understand purchasing a convenient tree. This was actually right down the road from my house, which is the reason why I got this one. And inspecting your tree could help you make sure that you don't have a tree that dies halfway through the season. So a couple things is if the tree seems dry, and then any browning or discoloration is a big no-no. Choose another tree. The next tip that I would give you, number 3, would be buy a tree that's an appropriate size for your location, your home. As you can see behind me, I live in an apartment, and I got a tree that isn't too large. It's a little bit probably over 6 foot because of that tall tip right there. Not truly 6 foot, but I live in an apartment, so that's a good size for me. If you have a larger house, you could get a bigger one, but nothing is worse than getting yourself a tree that's way too large for your space and it's taking up way too much space. It's overimposing. And last but not least, one tip that I could give everybody to make sure that your tree lasts as long as possible is water it immediately when you get it home. Your tree is not going to be any more thirsty than the first day when you purchase it and the trunk has been freshly cut. So make sure that within the first couple days, you're watering it frequently. After that, you may be able to water it every 2 days, but the first couple of days, you'll notice that the water level drops rapidly. So make sure that as soon as you get it set up, give it some water, and that will make sure that your tree lasts for the whole entire season. Now, right here in the corner is the location where I'm gonna put out my tree. As you can see, it's already positioned, but in order to get the lights and everything around it, I'm gonna wanna pull it a little bit away from the wall so I could actually get a little space behind it, and then once we're done, we could tuck it back in. So let's go ahead and do that. That should be sufficient, at least for me. If you need to pull it out a little bit more, you're a bigger guy. I'm 6'2", and I'm husky. So if that's enough for me, it should be enough for most people. But do whatever you're comfortable with. Now let's get to the actual decorations. We'll start with the lights. I have 3 strings of lights. A good tip also for the lights is go ahead and check and see if they all work. If they've been stowed away, it may be that some of these are broken, and you may not want to waste your time putting these on the tree. So let's go ahead and test it out in the outlet and make sure that all these strings of light work. good. Second one good. Here, if you, I don't know if you can see that from here, but we'll turn this back on. Last but not least, the third one, all good so far. You may want to also go ahead and unwind them, expand them, and make sure that like halfway through it's not popped or not working, and you could actually replace that in advance. It'll be much more difficult to replace them once it's on the tree, just because these strings are actually green and will blend into the tree really well. So if you, whatever you could do in advance in preparation to make sure that everything is functional before going on the actual tree will help you save some time. But for us, we're good to go. So let's get started. Alrighty, if you have a tree topper like I do, it's intuitive, but just in case anybody doesn't think about it, you're gonna wanna make sure that this starts off at the top and then you spin your way down. That way your tree topper could boop, get plugged in. So as you can see, there's no like rhyme or reason as to how I'm putting the lights. What I like to do personally is just make sure that the lights aren't too like spaced out. Makes better illumination effect once you get them all in and plug it in. Makes it so there's not like random gaps in between. And I like to tuck it in as well. It helps with kind of like masking the wires. The wires are green, so they blend in good into the actual pine. All right, so this would be much easier if we had two people, but my roommate is slacking off. He just got here and he's changing and whatnot, so I'm just gonna continue. Where you end the cable, you wanna just plug in the new one and then start going around all over again with the next one.
You ready for another recession? Another what? Another recession? Yeah, no, I'm always ready. I think we're like a week or two away from witnessing another 2009. Nah. Should not. First of all, it's 2008. It's not Christmas. Huh? What are you doing? Why are you doing pretty? We're not leaving it. Here, come on. You're so black. Okay, the time lapse of this video? Yeah. Millimeter? Alright, so just catch it. Once you're on there, just tuck it in. Just look like that. I'm not one kid, I'm all the way up here. The ones over at our oldest partner were so much bigger. Yeah, they were. So we had to double look, so yeah. Could you like just line it up? Oh wait, that's what I'm saying. Crap, I put the wrong sign. That's what I'm saying. Like, wait, how does that work? Go back. Yo, that is
Hilarious.
All right, so I just made a huge mistake and I plugged in the wrong end into the top or into the last string of like lights. So when we got to the end, I couldn't even plug it into the wall. So we gotta go back. Alrighty, so I got some assistance from my roommate Moose. We had to actually go back and redo the lighting. It was my mistake, but good thing I had a second pair of hands. It didn't take as long as the first time. Now let's show you the reveal of what the lights look on before, or what the lights look like before we actually put the ornaments on. Turn the lights off. Is that enough? Let's turn this one off too. Ta-da! It's coming along good. Now it's time to put on the ornaments, and once again, no rhyme or reason. Yep, Moose got the ornaments right there. No rhyme or reason to how you put them on, but I like to like layer them, put some in, some out, some at the top, some at the bottom, and then put some small ones at the top, some big ones at the bottom. Just mix it up. If you have hooks, it helps a lot, and if you get them in green, you can barely see them. All right, you ready to decorate?
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3.
No more balls?
Yeah, there's still a few balls. Now that we have the majority of the balls on, there's still other ornaments that we got to throw on. We got some icicles, if you could see that in there. Yeah, some cool icicles. And also snowflakes, blue snowflakes. So stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and just fast forward through this portion. One thing I like to do is at the end, put a ribbon on it. Adds a little bit of
Spice?
Yeah, that's right, some spice. The Packy said it. And last but not least, you always have to leave this for last, is the tree topper, which is, in our case, it's a star. Other people may have other ornaments like angels or something that sit at the top. My roommate has been very anxious to actually do this, so I'm going to go ahead and let him put it up. You want to use a stool? Or no?
Plug it in.
Looks good. All right, let's turn off the lights. Turn off the lights. I'm looking for Hey. I know it's dark, but it looks pretty decent. Let's see. That tree topper looks really nice. You got the bottom of the tree right there.
Should we vacuum real quick?
What's that?
Vacuum real quick?
Yeah, we'll vacuum and then put the tree skirt and the train. Alrighty guys, so last but not least, just a few finishing touches like the tree skirt, and if you guys didn't see it already, go check it out. I did a video review of my train that I purchased at Walmart for my tree. It's gonna go around the base, and then once I'm done putting this and that on, we'll do the final unveiling of the whole entire tree. And now for the final unveiling of the tree with the train and everything set up. Did it.
Damn right.
Why you got tough, man?
Yeah, it's not a bad word.
This guy needs to grow up. Dirty mouth. Alrighty, that is all for this one, guys. Make sure to smash that like button if you like this content. Comment down below and let me know what you did. If you can, put a picture of your tree. Mine came out pretty good. You got the train down there. And as always, peeps, don't forget to ask yourself, have you been Eddie Tang?